Good morning. It is 6:45 in the morning on a Saturday morning, April 12th, 2025. This is my first post. I have started the carnivore way of life going on 10 months now. Since I was a teenager, I've battled depression. I have been diagnosed hypoglycemia when I was in my 20s. I begged a doctor to give me a 5-hour glucose tolerance test because I had checked out books in the library. Now I'm dating myself because the internet wasn't really accessible to the rest of us until much later than the time period I'm talking about. I borrowed a blood sugar meter from a relative, fasting blood sugar in the morning, right before I would eat a meal, an hour after I ate a meal, and then every hour for the rest of the day. And I kept a log of what time I ate things. Then I started keeping track of how much sugar was in the things I was eating, how many carbohydrates. And I had this beautiful poster I had gotten from my mother-in-law at the time. And I just kept it up on the kitchen wall, and eventually I had come to memorize some of the foods that I was eating most frequently. I can't remember what that is now, but we have apps to do that for us now. So after, I don't know, about a month, I made an appointment for a 5-hour glucose. No, it was just a regular doctor visit, and I asked him for a 5-hour glucose tolerance, and he was asking me questions, and I had brought my log with me. And he was astounded that anyone would do anything like that. You know, I've never seen anyone keep track of their food and their sugars like this. And I said, I know diabetes runs in my family. My grandmother actually, I don't remember if it's one or both knees, but at the knee, at least one leg, she had amputated because of diabetes. And talking to my siblings, there were a couple that were dealing with the same things I was dealing. I would crash after eating a high sugar. It got to the point where, while I was working at a restaurant, my blood sugar dropped, and I was just really giggly. Everything was funny, and they thought I was drunk. And the next day, I told them, don't ever let that happen again. I said, give me something with sugar in it to bring my sugar back up, because that was not me. Anyway, so I begged this doctor to give me this 5-hour glucose tolerance, and he humored me. I could tell he wasn't really buying it, but what's the harm, right? So I go in for the 5-hour glucose tolerance, and how old was I? Maybe 26 or 27. And the lab technician, they were also humoring me. They're like, what is this? Whatever. Okay. We got to make sure you stay here. You know, I brought a book that I hadn't started yet and started reading it. So I had something to do all day. Every hour, I would go back in the lab. They would draw the blood. At the 4th hour, the lab tech comes right back out. And he goes, how are you feeling? Hold out your hands. And of course, my hands are going like this. And he's like, oh, we got to get some sugar in you. I don't remember what the number was, but the lab tech was freaking out. And they found an employee of the clinic who had brought something sugary, a soda, to give me so that I could drive home. I didn't even make it to hour 5. So the doctor wanted to meet with me, and I'm sitting in his office, and he wanted me to come back again and do another 5-hour glucose tolerance test, but this time bring a boiled egg and eat it at the same time so he can see what happens. Sure, doc. And I never made the appointment. I'm like, I got the diagnosis. It's confirmed that what I was feeling and what I was reading about matched, and there it is. So now I know what to do. So that started my whole journey of, I would be low carb. I understood about the carbohydrate, and I pretty much called it a diabetic diet. Up in weight, down in weight, up in weight, down in weight. Later on, I want to say around early 2000s, I was working at a convenience store, and of course, everything there is bad. And I had gotten up to over 290 pounds, and enough is enough. And everything was hurting. I had gotten diagnosed with fibromyalgia because, again, I researched all the symptoms, and this is painful, that's painful, and you go to the rheumatologist and they just poke you in specific spots, and if you tell them yes, that hurts, they give you that stamp of diagnosis of fibromyalgia. I had this huge book the size of a unabridged Webster dictionary, and it was alternative medicine, and I would just pour through that thing, and I found one on fasting, and it talked about what to expect on different lengths of fasts, and a water fast is the most beneficial. So I gave it a shot, and I wanted to do longer, but thing in the book said that after 5 days, the hunger pain, not 5 days, 3 days, it said the hunger pains will go away. Well, I'm on day 5 and the hunger pains were still there. But on the 5th day, I noticed that I could actually see my shin bones and my muscles and tendons through the skin. The inflammation had gone down, and I realized at that point that I don't have a whole litany of diseases. What I'm eating is what's making me sick. Anyway, so because I've heard so many other people say that they lost the weight on keto, or they solved this problem, solved that problem, but the most healing came from following carnivore. So speed up to today, carnivore now for over 9 months. My knees, the first thing I noticed was I found my kneecaps. The inflammation didn't go down as fast as that 5-day fast was, but it went down. And now I'm enjoying the fact that I can balance on one foot, switch from one foot to the other without feeling like I'm going to fall over. So that's progress. The blood sugar, I can, if I behave, my blood sugar can be in the 80s in the morning. I don't test my ketones all the time, but I will when I'm trying to get them up. I noticed changes in my vision. I had started going from reading glasses at 1.25, and then I was 1.5, and then I was 1.75. And I'm realizing there's something wrong with my glasses, and I went to the store and I tried on all the higher not prescriptions, but strengths, and realized I could go back to 1.25. Progress, right? My hair fell out, not all of it, but it had gotten really thin when I first started carnivore, and it has grown back. And I do color my hair. I'm going to let you know the roots are white. And my granddaughter was looking at my hair, and she said, "Your hair is like shiny." The roots. She was talking about the white roots. So I'm looking at it, it's like, yeah, that is kind of different. It's white, but it's like see-through. Like it's collagen that lost some of the whiteness. Like a see-through white, milky white, I don't know. Well, I guess that's going to be my first video to post, and I'm enjoying my day. You guys enjoy yours. Thank you.